Good evening and welcome to the 4th annual JWU Players Whose Line Is It Anyway Improv Show, Zip Zap Zoom. Despite the circumstances, we are so happy to be able to present this virtual program for you tonight. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan, the president of the JWU Players, and I'm joined by our vice president, Sophie, your other host for the evening.
Tonight, we're going to take a look at some memorable moments from past shows, see some reactions, play some games, and even test your musical knowledge. Yes, you, dear audience member. I hope you all have your popcorn and you're ready to start the show. To kick us off, we're flashing back 3 years to the show that started it all.
I'm Claudia, Char,
Nick,
Kira, Liza,
Matt,
Grace,
Alex,
Nicole, Hannah,
Billy, Bobby,
Cassie,
Max,
Maddie, Paige,
Aaron, I'm Sam, I'm Cam.
your host! Feel free to step along, make it less awkward.
Since we've had to move virtual, we decided that we wanted to involve you all in the fun as well. In between the games and clips, we've put together some sets of emojis for you. What we'd like from you is for you to simply guess what musical the emojis describe and put it in the chat. We look forward to seeing your answers.
Good evening, everyone. The game we're going to play today is called Challenge, and in this game, our actors are timed for 4 minutes, and each actor has to imagine they're an expert on whatever topic I give them. Their argument can be as far-fetched as they want it to be, but they can also be challenged by the other experts. And if I deem the challenge to be adequate, the new person steps forward and speaks. However, if the challenger's argument is deemed poor, the original actor continues the argument. The goal of this game is to be the last person talking when the 4 minutes are up. Joining us today, our actors, we have Marita Hearn, we have Spencer Levy, and Jacob Olson. Now, these actors do not know what their topic is, and they're about to find it out right now. Actors, at the end of the 4 minutes, you will hear a... And that means the time is up. Is everyone ready?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yeah.
All right, so I have our timer set, and your topic is Shrek the Musical.
Oh, a good musical for starters. So Shrek the Musical is a musical that is about the 2001 animated classic Shrek, starring, a bunch of famous people that I can't recall right now. But in the musical, there's a lot of other famous people like Ryan Darcy James, Sutton Foster, some iconic Broadway roles. So
Challenge.
Shrek is...
Yes, Jacob.
I'd just like to state for the record, I myself played Shrek in a local production back home. I think it's safe to say that I myself am an icon who played Shrek.
I would
and
say
you
that,
name me.
but the version you're speaking of is Shrek Jr., I believe.
Correct?
So I'm going to give that to Marita to keep going.
Fair,
Yes.
fair.
Yes.
All right. So in Shrek the Musical, they take, the most far out scenes in the musical or in the movie and put them on stage. Like, you might think, how is Lord Farquaad a midget? He's on his knees with knee pads the whole show.
Challenge?
Or
Yes.
That's
Spencer.
ruining the special effects. Why are we spoiling that for all the kiddos?
That is true. How dare you ruin the magic. Spencer, go
Magic
ahead.
Theater.
No, so what really happens in Shrek the Musical is that before production, they get the fairy godmother to sprinkle magical fairy godmother dust on the actor who plays Lord Farquaad, and he shrinks down 2 feet. So he actually is the proper size to play Lord Farquaad. So fun fact about the behind-the-scenes Broadway magic of Shrek the Musical. But besides that, the plot of Shrek
Challenge.
Yes.
I think he's getting Broadway magic and Disney magic confused.
I think so. There is Broadway magic, but that sounds a little bit more Disney magic, and we're talking about DreamWorks here. So, Marita, I'm going to give that to you. Let's hear some more.
All right. So, in Shrek the Musical, there are a lot of ensemble roles that are very important because within the ensemble, you are a character, which isn't the case for most shows. I mean, if you're the big bad wolf, you're technically an ensemble, but like you have a part, you have a purpose, you have your own costume, you have your own like song, and like each person gets a couple lines each, which is very rare for big productions for everyone to have like their own moment and a role. And we know, as someone who's been in ensemble basically her whole life, you know that if you have a purpose, it makes the show so much more memorable and it makes you feel like you have a place in the show.
Challenge?
It is.
Yes.
Last time I checked, all of the ensemble members are kicked out of their place, so they really do not have a place to really go to.
That they end up in the swamp. So
They do.
Spencer, let's hear some more about that.
So yeah, plot-wise, so all the fairy tale creatures get kicked out of Duloc, and they have to go to Shrek's swamp, which of course Shrek is not happy by. So he tries to get his swamp back.
Yes, Jacob.
At the beginning of the show, Shrek goes to Duloc and tries to make the claim for his land back, but technically the land belongs to Duloc at that time.
Ooh, that's good. Let's hear some more about that.
Let's hear some more about that. So Shrek is not only iconic for the way it blends all the stories together, it also talks a lot about property law. It's going to educate the youth through song and
Challenge.
dance.
Yes.
Boring.
I do love me some law, but Marita, let's hear some more about Shrek and not property law.
Ma'am, I'm not in class right now. I'm an improv show. I don't want to hear about no property laws. So anyways, in Shrek the Musical, there are a lot of songs, a lot of good bops. Who I'd Be, a heart-wrenching song. Morning Person, a good song set as your alarm clock in the morning. There's also just songs, my personal favorite, which is probably a very hot take and not well received, is that one of my favorite
You're
songs
the
is
winner,
actually
Marita!
Yeah!
Congratulations! And you know what that means? That means that Marita knows the most about Shrek the Musical.
It's Battle of Lord Farquaad, by the way. My favorite song. I mean, it's not my favorite song. It's a good one, though.
All right. Well, I would like to thank our actors again. I'd like to congratulate Marita, our champion. Spencer, thank you for coming tonight. And Jacob, I think you got kicked out at some point and your Wi-Fi froze, but I'm glad you came back.
Yes.
Yes.
Wi-Fi is terrible.
All right. So thank you all for coming to this game, and we'll see you next time.
Up next, we have a little bit that we like to call musicals from memory. In this game, we challenge some of our players to fully explain the plot of a popular musical in under a minute. Let's see how they did.
Once upon a time, Baker and his wife are trying to have a kid. They can't have a kid because the witch put a curse on them. And so to get rid of the curse, they have to find a cow as white as milk, the cape as red as blood, the hair as yellow as corn, the slippers pure as gold. So they go into the woods to find these items. At the same time, Jack, Little Red, Cinderella are also going into the woods because they want to get their respective wishes. And they kind of all intertwine into each other. And they eventually get all the items, but the cow dies. The cow's brought back to life. And then they milk the cow, they drink the magic milk or whatever happens. The witch is now beautiful all of a sudden. after that, they realize that, oh, maybe our wishes, like, they weren't really necessary because our lives were kind of okay before, and now they kind of are falling apart because there's a giant that comes from the beanstalk that Jack cuts down after he's greedy, and it kind of just causes a lot of chaos. There's also two princes, and they sing in the woods about agony, about, like, not having their princes. Baker's wife falls in love with the prince, and then she dies because of love. They all live happily ever after.
Okay, so Chicago is about this girl named Roxy, and she was cheating on her husband with another guy, and then who promised her that he can make her famous. When she finds out that he can't, she gets so angry to the fact that she shoots the guy, and she gets sent to jail and is tried for murder and can be hanged from it. In there, she meets this girl named Velma, who's a big celebrity in vaudeville, and she also got sent to jail because she killed her husband and her sister for having an affair with, those two are having an affair, like they were cheating with each other. And then there's this big number about all these people, how they get to jail, and it's cell block tango, and it's really cool. And then Roxy wants to find a way out to prove her innocence, and they get Amos. Nope, and then, oh my.
Wizard of Oz, timeless musical based off of the classic book by L. Frank Baum, starts with Dorothy in Kansas. She was with her aunt and uncle, and she runs onto the stage, and she has her dog with her, and she's followed by her mean neighbor. The neighbor wants to kill the dog because the dog bit her, whatever. And then more stuff, boring stuff happens on the farm, and then a cyclone comes through, and the farm hands, the aunt and uncle, they go hide in the storm cellar, but Dorothy goes and hides in the house. The house gets picked up by the cyclone and dropped in Oz, hence the title of the show. And there she meets the Munchkins and one of the witches, and she finds out she killed another witch. And then the good witch is like, the only way you can get back home is to find the Wizard of Oz. And she goes and she finds three friends, the lion, the Scarecrow, and the Tin Man, and they all want things from the wizard, and they sort of kind of get them at the end.
There was a man. He stole a loaf of bread. He went to prison for it. He got out of it. Then he worked his way up, became the mayor. When he was mayor, he met this girl, Fantine. Fantine, poor, working. She has a child. Child lives somewhere else. She works to give them money. Then he meets her, but then not really. He actually kicks her out of the factory because all the other girls in the factory are like, loser. So she gets kicked out. She has no other choice but to get money than to sell herself on the streets. Then she dies because she gets poisoned. No, she gets hurt. And then you meet the people that her kids at. They're gross. And also the French Revolution's happening. And within the French Revolution, Javert, the guy, the mayor, his daughter is pretty. She loves a soldier. And they get together, but another girl likes him. And they die at the end.
Mean Girls. So we open it up, and it's Janice and Damien, and they're like, it's cautionary tale, and they're all about like telling us how to be so bad. It's about to be so bad. And so then we see Caddy, and she's in Africa, and they're telling her that we gotta go to America, and she's like, I'm so excited to go to America, Starbucks. So we get to America. No one wants to be her friend until Janice and Damien find her in the bathroom, and then they're like, here's where you belong, here's where you belong. And then we meet the Plastics. We meet Regina, Gretchen, and Karen, and so we meet them, blah blah blah. They hang out, they're friends. Janice is like, you should pretend to be their friend, and so she does. And then they go shopping. They're mean to her, but they're not. And then, oh my God! She wants to watch the world burn. And then we get rid of Regina, and then she gets hit by a bus.
Finding Nemo the musical is at Disney's Animal Kingdom theme park in Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida. Takes everything from the movie, puts it into a 30-minute musical. It's amazing. So it starts the same way the movie starts, with Finding Nemo, with Nemo's mom and brothers and sisters getting eaten. He's the only one, so his father has to raise him, and it happens they go to school. Mr. Ray's like, we're gonna go on an adventure, and then Nemo goes and touches the butt of the boat, and then he's taken by the divers, and then Merlin's like, oh my god, where'd he go? And then he finds Dory, and then they like go everywhere and like do the things, and then Nemo tries to sabotage the tank and get out of the tank, but it doesn't work. And then it's amazing because they have all these puppets like this and all these puppets that you're going to see on the screen. And then in the end, Nemo gets out and frees everyone from the tank, and it's just a really great musical, and you should listen to it and watch it on YouTube. It's so good.
Main character is a nun. She doesn't like being a nun, so she goes and becomes a nanny for this military guy during World War II. Then the kids are being like led by their father in like a military manner. They're not really enjoying their childhood, and then Maria, the main character, teaches them how to be children. Dad doesn't like this. Dad and Maria have a love-hate relationship going on throughout Act 1. There's a big party. The kids do a little performance. She teaches them how to sing, which is something they weren't allowed to do. At some point, there's puppets. In Act 2, the man and Maria get married, and they become the performing Von Trapp family as Germany's invading their nation and stuff. They decide, oh no, I don't want to do this. We have to get away. And then the nuns from Maria's monastery help them get away to USA. The end.
Wonderful. So basically there's this waitress named Jenna, and she's like in a really bad relationship with a man. I think they're married. They are married. She's in a bad marriage with a man. And she works at a coffee shop, and there's the guy who runs the coffee shop who's really cool, and then she has two best friends, and basically one day at work she's like, oh my god, I'm sick, and it turns out no, she's not sick, she's pregnant, and then they sing a song about the pregnancy test, which is really good, and it's a bop. But anyway, so she's pregnant, and then she goes to the doctor and is like, help, I'm pregnant. And the doctor's like, okay, cool, I'm hot. And they have a scandalous relationship, even though she's pregnant and married to a man already. And then at the same time, her two best friends are also in relationships with people, and then she has the baby, and then she doesn't end up getting together with the doctor, and it's kind of sad, but it's okay because she runs away from her husband but still works in a coffee shop.
All right, so there's this guy who lives in the basement of an opera. He has an ugly half of a face. And there's this girl who dances at the opera who lives there. And this guy with the ugly face, he comes to her every night and says that the ghost of her dead father sent him there to teach her to sing. And she just buys it, I guess. Anyway, fast forward in time. Now, like, there's this whole prima donna, which is like the main singing lady. Everyone hates her. So does the guy in the basement. Tries to kill her. Doesn't work. Now, the girl who dances there is now also the prima donna. Everyone's stressed out. Gosh. Phantom makes a lot of people kill themselves. Places catch on fire, chandelier falls. That was...
Next up, we're going to play some best elf clips from our previous improv shows and include some behind-the-scenes reactions from a few of our members. We definitely had a lot of fun looking back. Don't forget to keep guessing the musicals by the emojis that pop up on your screen, and put your guesses in the chat.
We're going to be playing some scenes from a hat, so we have some scenes. So if you guys have seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, this game is called Scenes from a Hat. So we're going to pick random scenes from this hat, and we're going to do one-liners with the entire cast.
for a mic to cut out.
And the winner is...
Houston, we have a... Sharon, before you get on that plane, I want you to know that I... And the spring musical is...
The results are in. Jeff, you are... If you remember one thing from this speech, anything from this speech, it is...
And seating. Oh, go ahead. Okay, so this is resumes that did not impress.
And yeah, you can email me at stargirl9998543@gmail.com. So I'm really good at avoiding the cracks on the sidewalk and speed walking.
So I worked at McDonald's for a couple of years.
I know, my mom's my only reference.
Don't worry, I already put you guys down at job experience.
So, I mean, my really only accomplishment is one time I slept for like 4 straight days, but it was like, I mean, that's impressive.
So you say one of your skills is bottle flipping? Special skills include ice skating.
My only skill is procrastination.
See? Things you don't expect to hear from a seashell when you put it to your ear.
This is the magic conch.
Get me out of the seashell!
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for
Oh, well, this is the ocean.
Mom? Thank you for calling Long John Silver's.
Water!
What do you mean you're listening to me?
World's worst neighbor.
Hey! Hey! I know it's 3 a.m., but I need to borrow a cup of sugar. You have some?
You don't mind that I'm mowing the lawn at 3 a.m., do you?
Sure is a fine Sunday to pump the septic tank.
Time to let my dogs out and bark for 4 hours straight.
Time to mow the lawn after 7 years.
Professional drum set maker.
Hey, can I borrow your car? Mine's not working.
I know I live on the 2nd floor, but I'm just gonna keep jumping.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on, frat boys, let's move it!
Bad times to break out into song.
And the father is Chicago!
I'm really sure Grandma would be proud of this eulogy.
Game a little more interesting and play it live. So everybody's gonna turn around. They're in pairs, and we're gonna play the same game, but they don't know what scene or position they're walking into. So we're gonna start this with Bobby and Cassie, and your relationship is lion tamer and lazy lion.
All right, so you see that stool? You're up on it.
No.
Why not? Look, over there, there's some steak. You don't get that.
I will use the power of my mind to push you away. Are you ready?
Later.
Freeze!
Stand alive. Stand alive. Are you still ready for this disco? Sure am. Afro? You didn't get the afro. I got my...
Okay. Can we do it?
I think we can.
Okay, ready? Okay. Other way, girl. Or opposite. Yes, that's
Oh, it's both. Freeze. Oh, we made it. All right, so now you got to stretch this way. This way? Wait, no. Like left hand over your like that.
Freeze. Go ahead.
You good?
Okay, dude, how long is this handshake?
I mean, yeah, it's like
Like, when I committed
hand,
to this, I
and
thought
then
it
jump,
was like
and then switch.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, keep going.
Yeah,
Right.
freeze.
We're together. All right, thank you for choosing to get your first tattoo here. I know you want mom and a heart right here on your forearm, right?
Yeah.
All right, you ready? It's gonna hurt a little bit. Ready? I'm just gonna touch with the needle, no ink first, so you get the idea. Ready?
Oh my God!
Okay.
Freeze.
Now, Miss Piggy, unfortunately, due to the fact that you tossed Gonzo downstairs and he is currently paralyzed, we are going to have to inform you that your services will no longer be required by this company.
I'm very disappointed to hear that. I was really hoping to push more people down the stairs. I had a hit list set up. That Beaker guy, what does he do? Scream all the time? That was
Freeze! Dude, look at this. I got the world's smallest egg. It's like a rat egg. Rats lay eggs. Rats lay eggs. Nurture this, raise it their own big rat, and go imprint on us and think it's hatching. Oh my God! Oh, that is way bigger than the egg. Oh God!
So like, what's up with our hands?
I think it's arthritis.
But I'm only like 12.
And I'm 4.
I would have a way better problem than that. What if we try to like...
Ready? Look our fingers together.
Freeze!
Why light through yonder window?
break the light through the window.
But then it would be dark.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm just preparing for my Naruto run later.
Oh no, wait, where is it?
At the mall. Are you coming?
Yeah.
Let's go!
Oh, man!
There's going to be 2 groups of 2 people, and I will give them random objects that they will have to use for everything except for their intended purpose. Okay. For the first round, it's going to be Manny and Alex and Sam and Niall. every new thing that they come up with, and I'm gonna double ding when they're done. So, and Maya, if you want to start first.
Let's go rock this
Guitar.
This shoe is very glossy.
It's a hard knock life.
Maybe we can start firing.
Smash. Did anal fit? Shoes. Here's the sucker one. I'm trapped. If my card goes over. Yes. The guard! How?
I'm Brittany, like, yeah.
Why do we have big cell phones in the night? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of her? Really? Thank you. Ho, ho, ho! Yes. Cirque du Soleil. Do you like my kite? Oh, yes.
Fetch.
Let's go to Wendy's Big Burger is so big. You like Big Burger?
Magic carpet ride.
You're coming for us. Oh no!
I'm blind.
Oh no!
We're gonna play another round of Aprox, this time with Hannah and Bobby and Amber and Logan. Hannah and Bobby, if you want to start.
Burger King, you can be the king.
Yeah.
The world's longest carrot. Can you hear me?
What? Look at my new lawnmower.
Whoa, radical! And now I will pull out a square rabbit. Vocals.
It's going to eat you. Like my new phone.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Check this frisbee out.
I'll be the Ron to your Hermione. Soccer!
You like my new shaver?
Oh yeah, shave my face.
I stepped in cement.
Check out these new stilt signs we just acquired. Hello, my baby. Hello, my Check out this new chef knife I just got from my chef.
Well, like the 80s were like a great time for shoulder pads.
Frankenstein bros. All right, Let's go play some football.
Oh! Do you like my new guitar?
Oh yeah. Loved it.
Bongos.
It's a sword and a shield.
Hi, Saber.
Ah.
I can't believe you bought the same purse as me.
The ultimate nose-picking device. Soccer problems. More fun, man. A pillow fight. Oh yeah. Check out the new pointless binocular. That doesn't do anything. I wanna swing from the
This is a kite.
Will you marry me?
This is a pointer.
Look inside this magic box.
So for this game, there'll be time for 3 minutes, and there will be 6 people on stage pretending to be an expert on something that they're not an expert on. They can really make up anything. It's up to me to decide whether they're right or not. So for the first round, it's going to be Hannah, Billy, Grace, LJ, Rana, and Lacey. Can I get a topic from the audience?
Miniature golf.
Miniature golf? Okay. Okay, and go.
Miniature golf. Miniature golf is the ultimate type of golf. It's false. Have anyone ever heard of frisbee golf?
Wrong, Billy. Miniature golf is the best.
Miniature golf, everything is small.
Challenge: windmills taller than I am.
That's very true.
And I'm a small person. Anyway, miniature golf, you kind of like take the putter in your hands and you go.
Challenge, you go.
Yeah, technically, go ahead.
Miniature golf was invented by the gnomes. Anything else is a lie.
Miniature golf is also invented by professional golf players.
I thought it was invented by like kindergartners. Ron, is that bad? Billy, go ahead.
So the gnomes, the Keebler elves, not them.
Challenge: discrimination.
Yeah, elves are important.
Everyone is important. Anyway, miniature golf is what we're here to talk about, and miniature golf is what we'll talk about. We have many miniature golf balls, the rainbow of golf balls, as I like to call it, because it's many colors.
Challenge, I have seen a white miniature golf ball, and that white is not in the rainbow.
Yep, that's right.
So we gotta get back to the gnomes! Let them to ground where they golfed for centuries!
Challenge! Their feet was on the ground. They lived in the garden.
The elves?
The gnomes.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the gnomes lived in the garden for many centuries. Anyway, as we were talking about with miniature golf, the courses in the miniature golf are always also designed very lovely.
Challenge! I've seen some janky miniature golf. Yeah, sometimes you get up and the windmill is stuck facing down, blocking the hole. What are you supposed to do here?
The windmill is never blocking the hole. It's always just going round and round. And when
Rhonda, that is a lie. Please step back.
And other times you hit it, it goes in the pond, and you're like, can somebody help me? And
Challenge: sometimes you're just bad at miniature golf.
That's room break. Go back.
Oh! I never said mine go in the pond. Just a side fact. But sometimes they do, and nobody can help you, and then you
Challenge: they have the little thing to fish it out.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
They have it's this
Everything is long for Grace because she's so small she can't accurately describe the size of this ball.
Small people. Go ahead, Grace.
Miniature golf is perfect for people my height, apparently.
Challenge?
It was great. For this second round of this game, it's going to be Athena, Manny, Bobby, Logan, Amber, and Sam. Can I have another topic?
More dogs, airplanes.
Disney movies.
Disney movies are violent movies.
Challenge. Disney movies are only about princesses. Don't worry about any of the other ones.
What did you say?
Disney movies are only about princesses. Don't worry about the other ones.
No, Sam.
Challenge. Disney movies are not very violent. They're very peaceful.
That's very true. Go ahead, Bobby.
So, some of them are very peaceful Disney movies.
Challenge. They're used to sell advertisements to kids that can't buy them.
Manny, be nice to the Disney movies, please.
So, there are nice and peaceful Disney movies, like Dumbo. That's peaceful.
Challenge? Doesn't Dumbo's mom die?
Yeah? Okay, go ahead, Sam.
Challenge!
I didn't say anything.
Dumbo's mom is seen with Dumbo at the end of the movie, so she does not die.
It's still sad. Go ahead, Sam.
Disney movies are created for entire generations of children who like to be lifted up with young child.
Challenge! Children don't like to be lifted up, they like to grow up on their own. And Disney movies are trying to teach them how to do that.
Logan, be nice to the Disney movies. Previously established that
They like to be lifted up and thought they were really nice things and then realized they really...
Children are not lifted up. They fall off cabinets.
Until they realize that the world is a dark place. So, Disney movies, thank you.
Yes, the world's not a dark place. That's all your perception.
Yes,
The world is not a dark place, actually. And Disney movies are light and heartful with kind of like...
Challenge! There are a lot of Disney movies with very dark undertones.
That's true. Go ahead.
So, Little Mermaid, for example. Technically, according to the original poem, she dies.
We're not talking about original poems here?
That's right.
Disney movies were created for children and adults of all ages.
Challenge. Disney movies are not created. They hop out of the ground.
Lies, Bobby.
As I was saying, it's made for everybody, even their grandmamas, right? So,
challenge. It's not made for babies because they can't see or understand or hear.
Yeah, good.
Okay. So yeah, it's not made for babies, but I think like once you turn 5, you can finally like understand a Disney movie.
Challenge. I was 4 when I saw my first Disney movie. As I was saying previous, right? Disney movies were just created by the government.
Challenge! Disney movies were not created by the government. They were created by Walt Disney.
Objection.
But yeah, go ahead.
So, Disney movies were created by Walt Disney.
Challenge. Wreck-It Ralph wasn't created by Walt Disney.
Manny's right.
As they
All right, hello everyone. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back at some clips of last year's show. So joining me today we have Spencer Levy, Jacob Olson, and Sarah Smith. Spencer and Jacob were in our show. Sarah was in the audience. She was also at a bunch of our improv rehearsals. We were discussing before we started recording this that none of us have actually watched this in probably a year. So it'll be interesting to see some genuine reactions to seeing some of these clips. So are y'all ready to go? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Right. All right, so our next game is called Props. And in this game, 2 sets of 2 will be given props, and they have to go back and forth creating scenes using those items, but they can't use them for anything that is their intended purpose. I'll ding the bell to switch to the other group, and double ding when the round is over. Our first group is Grace and Tara, and Alex and Jason.
Rest in peace, Tara, the transfer.
I remember going through the warehouse trying to find things, and I'm like, what do we have that I can just, like, no one will know? All right, Grace and Tara. So actually, hold on. So what Grace and Tara have are pieces from the set for Mamma Mia. So those are pieces from the dock that kind of stuck up to look like pillars. Oh. And then Jason and Alex have like these pieces of circular wood that we cut off of giant spools that Sam a couple years ago had found for an escape room that we were doing. And he found them in like the dumpster near RISD. So yeah, truly
trash.
No intended purpose.
Truly not.
You like my epaulets?
I feel like you're gonna get down, aren't you? What do you think about your clutch? You were the one. How much does it hold? It doesn't play. Go on, I'm gonna throw this first.
Okay, let's start our welding.
Did you say fetch like a dog?
Are you ready for battle?
Isn't that noticeable?
Do you like my new shoes?
What do you think about your earrings? Too small? They're not big enough. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Hey, Mom. I know I need some more money at college.
I can show you the.
I got this new soup bowl, but I don't think it's gonna hold my soup.
I think we're missing a lot of pieces to this card.
Like what you want. Oh, wow, I'm coming too. Okay, I know these are very tiny boats, but I think they cross the ocean.
Okay, so I know these are little tiny boats.
Oh, wow, I love it.
I am Iron Man. I'm Captain America.
We have magic dogs.
I don't know what this is even for.
We're gonna talk about the improv rehearsal. I hope y'all know which props game I'm talking about, the dinghy one. Yeah, I really blew that up just to use in one tiny game.
One singular. That was Dylan and I. And one of the things I used it for was a casket. And I laid down, and then the scene ended, and I stood up and was covered in sand. It was great. It was great.
Oh my god.
It's because I take it to the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to leave it dirty.
I mean, true. Oh, that is one of my favorite games ever.
It's
just
it's
whatever. You never know what you're gonna have to use, and then you never know what's gonna come out of their mouths. I love that game.
I love when they say the same thing back to back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very funny.
All right, I can't remember which one's next.
Now, in this game, our cast members will stand in a line, and the actors must start their sentence with the next consecutive letter of the alphabet. Play will continue until there is only one person left playing. If you take too long to come up with a line or you use the wrong letter, you are out with the ding of a bell. All right, our first game is Corinne, Red, Spencer, and Preston.
Spencer, do you have anything before we start this video?
All I can remember to say is that, like, how long this was.
This is like the longest one I've ever seen.
It was like 4 or 5 minutes long, and I remember because I had to go first, and I could not think of an A. So like, there's like a long 4 or 5 second pause, and like a word was about to come out that was definitely not going to start with an A. I'm like, I need to think before I get out, before I even say anything.
I will say, because I didn't want to be embarrassed as the host and like forget the alphabet, so I printed out an alphabet and had it on the podium. And so like as y'all were going down the line, I was like, okay, A, B, because I didn't want to be I forgot my alphabet, because I made a joke that this is how we know who knows their alphabet, and I didn't want that to be me.
The reality is no one knows their alphabet.
No one knows.
Especially in this game.
That's why in rehearsal I never participated in this one, because I know the alphabet. I don't.
All right, here we go.
All right, y'all got gum in your hair. Spencer, you start.
Always check for gum in the hair.
Definitely not going to be
Cotton candy is.
Don't pull it out, don't pull it out.
Everyone help me, help me.
Forgetting how to cut my hair, though.
Go get some scissors. Help is on the way. I don't know if I can keep it in here any longer.
Just stop pulling it, or you'll be bald.
Keep pulling it.
Let me see.
Maybe if I just yank it out really fast, it'll come out.
No! Yank it out really slow so you can feel the process. Don't listen to her. You need to rip that out like a Band-Aid.
Probably don't listen to any of them.
Question. What happens if I yank it out?
Really, I don't know.
So I think maybe she's right. You might end up with a bald spot, but you look pretty bald.
We'll have to see.
Underestimating my ability to pull this out is very hurtful.
Vincent. Sweet Vincent. I have these kitty scissors. Good.
Wonderful, you did it!
Xylophones work.
That is the only expert we allow.
We just introduced Xavier last year.
Xavier,
Amazing. That was amazing. Now, we gotta make sure you know what you're gonna get. This will happen.
But let's think on the bright side. You now can just eat the hairy gum.
Carl, you're right. I can't eat the hairy gum.
Do you know what a bad influence you are on him?
Every time. Fine. I will eat the gum. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Go for it, I guess.
How about you give me a piece of that gum? I don't.
Not the gum.
Don't swallow it.
Kind of nice there, that gum that you have. Let me more bubbles.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Not a problem. I think you should.
Oh, I know. What if I just did a really stretchy thing where it went out like this, and then I just put on the ground?
With all the hair pieces?
A wonderful picture of...
Is that a word?
At least it's going back on the ground and not in your mouth.
Yeah.
So pick it up. It might be good luck.
Time to go. Watch an improv show.
Underneath the gum is something else. It's $100!
Very good. Let's go back around.
What about just keeping the $100 and not spending it on gum?
Xanax, I use Xanax. Bring it out! I couldn't say xylophone, it's already taken.
Yeah. Zebras. We should buy zebras.
All the zebras! I will buy all the zebras!
But are we going to get black, white zebras or white and black?
Can't get the black and white because the white and black goes better.
Will be white and black.
Everyone knows black and white zebras are better.
Forget about the zebras, let's move on to caribou.
Hey, we can use $100 if we buy
It sounds like a plan.
Just kidding. I don't like caribous. I'm gonna use some monkeys instead.
a king monkey. We need to buy the king monkey.
I'm gonna dig you on that one. Sorry. All right, Preston L.
Let's go back to gum in your hair.
Bring it back around.
Nope, there's not.
Oh my god, no, there is. Look,
Please get it out.
quick, I will get it out quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Right, you just got it out.
See, it's right here.
We have never been through the alphabet that many times. That was what, like a third time?
That was on its third time.
Yeah, it's usually,
that was halfway around on the third time.
It's usually done by like towards the end of the first time or barely through the middle of the second one. I remember standing there as like, yeah, this has been going on for a while.
All right.
What a good game. All right.
What was
I like Preston's way of just being like, we're gonna go.
Spencer,
I also
what was
love
going through
that,
your
like-
head the whole time. Like, what were you thinking?
I was thinking how much I actually hate gum, and the whole concept of it was like grossing me out.
Well, that's what I love. Like, I gave you the gum prompt, and then it went elsewhere. But then Preston was like, gum.
We're gonna go right back to it.
All right. I think we got one more. And I believe this one is Sit, Stand, Lie, and Jacob is in this one.
And in this game, you guessed it, one actor has to be sitting, one has to be standing, and one has to be lying down at all times during the scene. Our first scene is going to be Katie, Jacob, and Emily. Wait, what?
I remember this. I was like digging through the pile because there was a huge pile of people, places, and things, and I was digging through, and she just goes, "I've fallen ill," and I was like, "Wait, what? Did I say that? Did I forget that I spoke?
Did I? Hello." It's fine. It really just sets the like, oh, this is gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
Chaos.
About to happen. It's about to happen.
You've fallen ill.
At that point, I was like, she already said it. Let's just go with it and see what happens.
Oh my god, are you okay?
So you should call somebody. Like, crisis management. Phone? This is the 21st century.
4 years old. I don't have a phone.
Makes sense.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
How are you today?
Not good.
Would you like to explain that? Because in the moment, I was just like, that's funny, and then I didn't understand that.
Okay, so this was at the point, this time last year was when Triple E, the mosquito-borne illness, was a big deal for Connecticut, where I'm from. And specifically my hometown was like we are the woods, and we're just in the middle of the woods. So if you can, you need to be inside like by 5, because after that is when the mosquitoes are everywhere. So this was my reference to that. That was when that was the biggest disease we had to worry about at the time.
Simpler times.
Simpler times, easier times.
And I clearly see, you can see Alex and Tara in the middle right behind Emily, both from Connecticut. And I think the only people
to truly understand
it were
yes.
them and like your parents.
Oh yeah.
And that was about it.
That's it.
Connecticut warned me about this.
There it is.
The reason I came to Providence. You're still ill. And this one's a mosquito. That makes sense. Wait! Swine flu!
I don't know if that was a big deal around the country or if it was just like a Connecticut thing, but I remember in 4th grade, like my teachers being like, swine flu, it's a big deal and it's gonna get you, and all of us being like, I don't understand, pig flu, what's happening? So that happened.
This topic would not have flown in today's day and age. I mean, when we first started improv, we were like, no viruses, nothing. And then it's funny taking a look back at a year ago, and it's just like every virus.
And there's also like no masks or social distancing. We're all in a room together.
Yeah. Imagine.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Think about that. It's weird to think.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm panicking. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to panic and sit here. That's unfortunate. Oh, she's falling. You don't need the phone for lifeguard. It's just the necklace thingy that you press the button. I don't have one. Oh, because it makes sense for a 4-year-old to have one. It's not working. Okay, let me see. There's no batteries? You need batteries for this? Doesn't make any sense.
It's a very small necklace, okay? I can only get like 2 minutes worth of power.
Oh.
I think AAA or double A. I think it's quadruple A.
Yeah.
Quadruple A.
I've never seen anything like it before.
You have to get them in a very special place.
Okay.
Where do you get quadruple A batteries? China.
Oh, that makes sense. So I think the plan of attack here is to go to China, get more batteries, fix the light with her, and then get her some help. Okay.
How long will this all take?
The next flight to China.
You'll be fine. Just leave it.
Just stay there and don't.
I'll take care of it. I promise. Something's ruptured. Something's ruptured. Oh my God.
Okay, that's fine. I'm a sports entertainment event management major. I don't know anything about drugs. So,
guys, I'm rupturing.
Oh, is that right? Maybe it's like a brain. Yes, she does. Oh, wait, she's fine again. Yeah, you don't do that. We're gonna chill here.
Oh, guys, a little help here. Maybe now I have something closer. A little help.
I'm just surrounded by ill people.
Well, you're gonna have to help someone.
I'm gonna here. That's true.
When's the next flight? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Do you think you guys can make it that long? I really feel like
That was beautiful.
Thank you. It was chaos is what it was.
Yes. I wish
From the very beginning.
I wish like there was a second camera like on the floor to just see the look in their eye. Yeah.
There's panic in their eyes. I also had brown hair at that point.
You
That's
did.
fine. It
Yes.
doesn't look real. Looking back on like pictures before, it doesn't look real. Good times.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank y'all for joining me today. It was a nice look back. As we had mentioned, it was a lot different times where we could actually be in a room. And I believe at that point, last year, our show, we had around 275 people in Pepsi. So the idea of jamming that many people in the space right now is absurd.
Terrifying.
But yeah, and I mean, we're here. We got to do some fun things. So thank you all for coming. Thank you, Spencer, Jacob, and Sarah. We hope you all enjoyed a little look back at last year's show.
Wow, that was certainly fun. Well, we'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight. Before we leave, we want to invite you all to join us for our 6th annual and first virtual escape room next week. This year's theme is Influencer in Peril. LA's #1 beauty influencer has vanished without a trace. The detectives haven't been able to make any leads, but something just doesn't seem right with this case. Think you can lend a hand to the detectives, solve puzzles, interview suspects, and escape the virtual room? Between October 25th and October 31st, join your friends and family and use the link in the comments below to participate in our escape room. Additionally, make sure to follow our social media to be up to date on all things Players, including important announcements about our plans for the spring semester. Thank you again for all coming and supporting us, and we'll see you real soon. Until next time.